If you're staring at a stack of chlorine tablets, wondering whether the next upgrade will actually make pool upkeep easier, you're not alone. Most homeowners want a system that just works, that you can leave on set and forget without worrying about daily dosing, and that won't bleed your wallet dry. The fear is real. You could spend a few hundred on a fancy chlorinator that never fits your pump, or you might end up with a unit that sputters and forces you back to manual chlorine. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down whether the CircuPool EDGE40 lives up to those expectations, and where the real value or the hidden cost hides. First off, the EDGE40 is built for pools up to 40,000 gallons, so it's squarely aimed at homeowners with medium to large in-ground installations. If you have a 20,000 gallon backyard oasis that you run year-round, this is the size class where a salt chlorine generator starts to make sense. The key promise is that you'll no longer have to juggle chlorine granules, tablets, or liquid stabilizer. You just add salt once and let the unit produce the disinfectant automatically. That's a huge convenience factor, especially if you already spend time balancing pH and alkalinity. The first practical strength I noticed is the titanium cell. Unlike cheaper polymer cells that corrode after a few thousand hours, this titanium construction is designed to last many seasons. In real-world terms, that means you won't be swapping a cell out every summer, which is a cost you often forget when you only look at the upfront price. The cell can churn out up to 1.7 pounds of chlorine per day, a figure that translates to steady, consistent sanitization for a 30,000 gallon pool on a hot summer day. In my own research, owners with similar-sized pools reported that the water stayed clear and the chlorine smell stayed low, a sign the generator is doing its job without over-chlorinating. Another concrete benefit is the built-in diagnostics. The unit constantly checks cell voltage, salt level, and flow rate, then flashes a simple code on the display if something's off. For a DIY pool owner, that's a lifesaver because you don't have to guess whether a cloudy patch is a cell issue or a pump problem. The diagnostics are also weatherproof, meaning the electronics can sit under a patio cover or even exposed to rain without misbehaving. I've seen setups where the whole system is tucked into the equipment room, and the EDGE40 just blends in without needing a dedicated climate-controlled enclosure. Installation is often the stumbling block for new chlorinators, but the EDGE40 scores points here. The manual walks you through connecting the unit to any standard pump and filter combo, and the wiring harness is pre-configured for 120V circuits. Most users I've read about completed the hookup in under an hour, even without an electrician, because the unit includes clear terminal markings and a short video guide. The only caveat is that you need enough headroom on your existing plumbing to insert the flow sensor and the cleaning cap. If your pump housing is cramped, you might need a small adapter or a few extra elbows. Not a huge expense, but something to plan for before you order. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. Salt chlorination does raise the water's salinity to roughly 3,000 ppm. That's a level most swimmers don't notice, but it can affect certain pool accessories. Metal ladders, for instance, may develop a faint patina faster, and some vinyl liners can feel a tad slick. If you have a brand new liner or a high-end stainless steel handrail, you might want to check the manufacturer's guidance on salt exposure. Also, the system requires a periodic cell cleaning, about once every month during heavy use, using the included cleaning cap. It's not a set-and-forget ritual. You still need to wipe the cell and flush the system, but the task is quick, usually under 5 minutes. Who should grab the EDGE40? If you already have a decent pump and filter, own a pool larger than 15,000 gallons, and are comfortable adding a few $100s to your annual budget for a salt-based system, this unit is a solid match. It's especially appealing for families that swim multiple times a week and hate the ritual of measuring out chlorine each time they dive in. The American-made chassis and heavy-duty housing also appeal to those who live in regions with harsh winters or intense sun, because the unit won't crack under temperature swings. Conversely, if you have a small above-ground pool, a spa, or a seasonal pool that only sees a few weeks of use each year, the EDGE40 is overkill. A smaller, plug-and-play chlorinator that handles up to 10,000 gallons would be a better price-to-performance ratio, and the maintenance overhead of a salt system wouldn't be justified. Likewise, if you're on a